So this past season, you finished up your third year overseas. You started in Sheffield in England and then finished in Luxembourg and continued to put yourself out there. Something I've noticed about you is the consistency with all the teams. You seem to get the same number of points and rebounds. So all I got to say is maybe you could teach Angel Reese a thing or two about shooting layups. I tease, but I tease. She's doing pretty well for herself, even if she can't always shoot from 4 feet, but that's another story. But this past season, what was that like for you, playing for a couple of teams and getting to experience a couple of new places and all of the things that happened along the way?
Well, Luxembourg was, out of all the countries I played in, I say Luxembourg was the best one. Luxembourg is a small country within Paris, Belgium, Germany. So when I arrived in Luxembourg, I knew I felt a sense of welcoming. Like I knew I was gonna be okay there as far as like the housing, the people. I would definitely say it was probably the best league I played in. I mean, my mindset was, you've been through a lot previous teams, so this team is counting on you to help them win. So you need to go out there and prove yourself, and like you've been doing any other team, but 10 times more. So the moment I moved into my first apartment over there, like I start praying to God, like, God, you know what I've been through in previous teams. Just open up my mind and, just come into my heart and just like help me, if to ball out and help this team, So it was a shift from when I got there. I mean, God just He laid His hands on me. I just started like, remember when I was going through in the last team, and I guess I just trusted Him the whole time I was there, and that's when everything blossomed. There was no drama with the team. There was nothing with like the coach, or I didn't feel anything like, oh, I don't belong. But it was definitely, I was just surrounded by good people, and I believe God answered my prayers. Like I started opening my Bible more, reading the Word, and He just, I don't know how to explain it more, but He just started blessing me. I mean, it was amazing. Every time I got on the court, I just remember like, Shay, this is your 4th year in. You need to. This should be even if it's 11 games you're playing in, 12 games you're playing in, this should be your best time to show teams or in that league that you can play. So I guess every game I just came into the mindset, well, don't have anything else on your mind. Just go out there and hoop and let everything else fall. And I just trusted God, prayed before every game, prayed after every game. But yeah, I would say it was a wonderful experience. When I wasn't playing basketball, I would explore different countries. Like I went to Belgium first, and when I went to Belgium, it was, wow, the people was, it was amazing. I don't know how to explain it, but it was when I got there, it was like, wow, like this is Belgium. I'm like only an hour away from Luxembourg. So I had a great time there. I ate like 5 Belgian waffles, if I'm saying it right. A lot of ice cream. Yeah.
That doesn't sound like it would be advisable in your basketball diet.
Hey, I was in another country though. I mean, so I had a great time. I mean, I don't know how to explain. It was just unbelievable. And I was there for a couple of days, got a little hotel, stayed, seeing parades and different things. Now after I got back from Luxembourg, I'm like, man, I don't want to be here. I want to go to Paris. So a month later, Paris, I don't know where to start with Paris. When I got there, I spent 48 hours there, and I took so many pictures at the Eiffel Tower, the museum. I went everywhere in Paris, every corner of Paris I've been to. Took a lot of pictures, met a few people, that, apparently they didn't really see nobody like me before, so they were like, okay. So the food was good. I mean, everything was good in Paris. Even though, side note, I spent over $3,000 in Paris because I wanted to see everything, and I got my time worth. So
you got your money's worth too.
That too. So Paris is a great experience. I really want to go back to Paris. So
that maybe explains why I see you working everywhere, trying to make up that $3,000 you spent in Paris. That was my first thought, NITs, of course. My second thought is it's a good thing you got your passport situation worked out.
You want me to talk about that?
Well, you can if you want. You don't have to, LaShayla, but it's amusing to hear you talk about how much you enjoy it. And you've said before you like traveling, you like seeing places, so this isn't new, but I do remember you talking about trying to get your passport and how you had to communicate through other channels because I think you lost your phone too.
Yep.
And I just think to myself, all of the sites, all of the money you would have saved, I'm kidding, I would never want that sort of misfortune in anybody. But it's a good thing you're able to get the passport situation worked out. Otherwise, you never would have gone to Paris or Belgium and never got to experience a real Belgian waffle.
Right. I had like 5 waffles in Belgium, so. Yeah.
But again, if you don't want to talk about it, that's fine. I just think it's funny what might have happened had the passport deal not worked out. Yeah. But you did make a switch. I know you've done it before. You started in England. You were really excited about that. Then midway through, you switched over to Luxembourg. What led to the change in terms of switching teams middle of the season? I know that sometimes happens in overseas. You know, WNBA, of course, we have trades and whatnot, but what took place and what led you to try another path, so to speak?
Well, actually, going back, starting with the passport situation. So last summer, England was my only offer. You know, during the summertime, I was with a different agency. So the whole summer, I signed a contract back in England in June 2024 summer. And everything seemed well. I researched it, the league. League was the top league in England. I mean, speaking of them, they actually won the whole entire league this past month. So I signed a contract, thought everything, I had a final contract where, okay, I'm gonna go play now. So when I left Minneapolis, Minnesota on, I think, September 3rd, everything seemed well. I'm at the airport with another teammate. Her name was Eden. Yeah, and we were all waiting to get boarded. And I had everything together. Everything seemed well. Soon as I get to the boarding gate to show the passport and your boarding pass, because you can't leave the country without that, obviously. So I get to the boarding. This is where my life flashed before my eyes. I get to the boarding pass. I remember putting my passport. I had like a little strap on shoulder. Put my passport in a little bag I had. Went on to my seat in the airport. I remember falling asleep right when I got to my seat. It was like an 8-hour flight from Minneapolis, Minnesota to Germany. Germany was my layover before I got to Sheffield. So I remember falling asleep, didn't think anything of it. You know, anybody would fall asleep me, I'm gonna fall asleep. So
not me, I just don't sleep. No.
I have to.
Not a moving vehicle.
I was too tired that day. So everything, fast forward, I get off the plane in Frankfurt airport. Something told me to check my luggage, and I just didn't feel right. I didn't feel right at all. So I'm checking my pockets and my bag. Just always make sure your phone, your keys, your wallet, passport, you know. I knew I was missing something, but I didn't know what it was. So I'm with my other teammate named Eden, and she's like, what do you think you missed or you're missing? I was like, I don't know, I'm missing something. I know myself, I'm just looking. After 30 minutes, I'm looking, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. I find something click was like, I don't have my passport. Mind you, I'm in a foreign country. I'm like, this can't be happening to me right now. This cannot be happening. I know I didn't lose my passport. I've been to 6 other countries before this. I've never lost a passport. So I'm trying to be calm because I'm like, if I was in Minnesota, it would probably been different, but foreign country, no. So I'm panicking. I'm like, Shay, I know you got your passport. You haven't lost your passport before. You know. I'm looking, dumped everything out of my bag. It wasn't there. So I told Eden, I said, you go on to, because we had a connection flight. We had to be at like our gate by the next flight by like an hour. And I'm like, I don't have my passport. I knew the country wasn't gonna let me leave Germany without my passport. I knew they weren't gonna let, because that's any country. So I went straight to the lost and found security, and they were like, and I told them I'm panicking, I'm crying, because I'm like, at this point, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm losing my mind. So crying, my mind is all over the place, like, okay, I'm stuck. I'm never going home. So I went to the airport security. I'm telling them, mind you, a lot of them didn't speak English. So I'm like, oh my gosh. I get my phone. I went to Germany, translation to England. I had to just type out what happened to me, and I showed them, because that's the only way I could communicate with them. So they told me, Miss LaShayla, just wait. Every time the plane landed in Frankfurt, the same plane came from Minnesota. I had to wait each hour, because when you lose something on a plane, they collect it, but they don't turn in right away. So fast forward, I couldn't leave the airport because they told me, you can't, ma'am, you're not a citizen, so we can't leave the airport. So I was there for 12 hours straight, couldn't go nowhere because they were like, you don't have your passport, you can't be roaming the streets. I said, I just want to go get a hotel until I find my passport or whatever. So I couldn't leave. So each hour I'm checking, going up to them, I said, have y'all found my passport? They said, no. And I'm like, this can't be happening to me right now. So I walked over to the police, Germany police, and I said, can you guys help me? I mean, I'm just lost and found, this is police, so 2 different departments. And I'm like, can you guys just help me? Can I get just like a 1-day pass to go find a hotel somewhere? Because I know I can leave Germany. So can y'all just help me? They're like, ma'am, you're going to have to keep waiting. We have other people we got to help. But I'm like, okay, no, this can't be happening. So I had to sit there for 12 hours on my phone, calling family and friends, my agent, the coach I had at England, telling them what happened. Everybody's trying to help me out, but they can't do much because I'm in a whole different country. So hours go by. I finally, for the last time, I went back to the police, airport police, and they were like, I said, can you guys grant me at least 1 day can I just go to a hotel, find a near a hotel until I get my situation taken care of? And they were like, okay, we could do that for you, ma'am. I said, thank God. So finally I got out the airport. That was a relief. Called my agent and told him what happened. My agent actually helped me get a hotel, that same night. But I had to make an appointment with the U.S. Embassy in Frankfurt, Germany, to get the emergency passport in order to leave Germany. So I had to go the next day to my to go get an emergency passport to get out of Germany. But before that even happened, I get settled to my hotel in Germany, and I was hungry. I didn't have a car there, so I just, Germany is easy to take a Lyft or you can take the bus. So I find let's take the bus to go get some food. I remember going to like a burger restaurant that night. Got on the bus, I had my phone in my hand like always, talking to the bus officer, or bus driver. And we were talking about, he was like, you play professional? You look like, or basketball. I'm like, yeah. So we had a conversation. This whole time I'm not thinking where my phone is. So on the way there, I had my phone in my pocket or in my hand, and I'm like, okay, my phone was at like 10% or something. So my phone don't die right away. I had a good phone, like a 12 Pro Max. So on the way back from the burger restaurant, when I got off the bus, I was walking. The hotel and the bus stop was like 5-10 minutes away, so I could just walk straight to my hotel from the bus stop. As I'm walking, I don't know. I had a funny feeling. I always have funny feelings because I'm already not right in my mind because I don't have my passport. So I walked to the hotel. Instantly, when I walked through the doors, I just checked my pockets. I'm like, something don't feel, because I feel my phone somewhere, and I don't feel it. So I'm like, I don't have nothing. I don't have a purse on me. I don't think I have my laptop, and my luggage was already in the hotel. And I'm looking, I'm like, where's my phone? So I'm checking my phone. I'm just like this. I instantly, I knew. I said, yeah, my phone is gone. So I walked into the hotel lobby, and I find a man, it was a stranger. And I was like, can you help me? I lost my passport. Now I don't have my phone. So he's like, thank God he spoke English to this day. God bless him. He was the first person that helped me when I went through my phone and passport. I'm crying. I'm like, I don't have my phone. I only have my laptop. So I'm like, I shouldn't have done this to this day, but I gave him my mom's number, and I was like, call my mom and tell her I'm okay, but I'm not okay. Tell her I lost my phone. Tell her where I lost my phone. So I'm telling him, I'm like, please contact my mom. That's the first person I want to contact, and then my agent. So when I'm going online telling people what was going on, I think his name was Alex. If you're watching this, Alex, thank God for you. God bless you for helping me that day. So I'm panicking. I couldn't sleep that night. I didn't have an alarm clock. So I'm downstairs every hour. I'm going downstairs to the lobby and asking the front desk, can I use their phone to call my mom? Because I had no phone. But his phone he couldn't call anybody in the U.S. because he's not from the U.S. So I had to use the hotel phone. So I'm calling people like, okay, I lost my phone now. I don't have my phone or my passport. So I'm over here like historical. I don't know why, what happened. I don't know how I lost both things. I don't know. It was almost like I had like slippery hands that day I was leaving because I never lose stuff like that. So fast forward, try not to get emotional about it, but that day I thought I was never gonna play basketball again. I thought I was never even gonna, I guess, lead a country in Germany because you lose a passport, that's a process. So by the grace of God, I just started praying. I'm like, God, get me out of this situation. I don't know what you're trying to teach me. I don't know what you're trying to tell me. Am I supposed to go play in England or am I not supposed to go play in England? So let me know. So I'm panicking, I'm crying, but I'm giving like, God, you are in full control. So the guy helped me. I didn't sleep that night. During the whole night, I just went down to the train station, the Lost and Found, and they were closed at like 2 a.m. So I'm walking the streets. I'm trying to trace my tracks. I went back to the bus stop, sat there for an hour to see if the same bus was gonna come back through. Because in America, I take the bus here, and sometimes the same bus drivers or same bus come through the same bus stop. So I just thought, okay, maybe if I sit here, maybe the same bus driver would drive through. Never happened. So I'm still panicking. I'm still trying to figure out what I need to do. So all night I'm trying to figure out ways to, how can I tell my phone was lost, or who I can talk to. I'm in a foreign country. I don't know these people. So I finally just asked somebody else, and it was a lady. I said, can you help me? I told her what happened with my passport and my phone. And she was very nice. She was like, you need to go down to Lost and Found. It's a train station down the street. So I went down there and I'm like, oh, they're closed. It's the same place I went to, the next day. I said, lady, this place is closed. I can't ask nobody. So all night I'm walking the streets, figuring out what I need to do. I'm scared. I don't know I don't want to go to my hotel room. I don't want to fall asleep, because if I fall asleep, I'm going to miss my appointment the next day for the U.S. Embassy to get my passport to get out of Germany. So I didn't sleep that night. Because I didn't have my phone, I asked the front desk of the hotel to print out the directions to get to the U.S. Embassy. They helped me. They were very nice people. And to this day, I got to call them and thank them. Like, I'm okay now. So they print out directions for me to get to the U.S. Embassy. From the hotel to the U.S. Embassy was only like 15, 20 minutes away. I took the first bus. That was not the same bus I got when I lost my phone on, but another bus that took me straight to the U.S. Embassy, because the most important thing is for me to get out of the country versus a phone. So I went to the U.S. Embassy the next morning. I remember paying under $200 for an emergency passport for me to get out of the country. They grant me an emergency passport that, only good for a year, and then with a paper when I can get a new passport. So I went through that process. When I got my emergency passport, that's when I knew I could leave Germany or go back home. I called my agent at the time, called my mom, my family, with the coaches, like, I'm on my way to Sheffield, because I wasn't going to go there. I wasn't going to go back home and just like, Shay, you don't need to go nowhere at this point. So what I did was I called them. The team in England actually paid for another flight for me to get to England, because I missed the flight, obviously, to get to England to play on September 4th or something like that, or 5th. So I got there without a phone in Sheffield, England, safely and sound. The whole month of, I believe it was October, I didn't have a phone in Sheffield, England. So I get there, get settled in my apartment. I had to use my laptop because I forgot my Facebook login, my Instagram login. I forgot some people's numbers. Thank God I knew my agent's number and my mom's number by heart, my sister's number by heart. So the whole month of October, it was hell without a phone in another country, because my mom and my agent was like, just go. The most important thing is you need to just get your passport. Your phone might not be recovered, but at least you're leaving another country to go to another country, and you're probably gonna be safe over there. So that was the focal point of it, was get your passport, get out of Germany so you won't be stuck there, versus waiting for your phone to be retrieved, because that's another day, and your hotel was only only a day. So I didn't have a week there. I only had a 1 day there to get my stuff. So I get settled in England. The whole time in October, I had to fill out a lost and found by my phone. This was hell because I'm talking to German people that don't speak English. So I'm like, okay, I need help. So I contacted my agent. I'm like, can you help me, translate German to English? He told me he could help me, but I forgot that I had a teammate that was from Germany. Her name was Laura, and she helped me translate and everything. So I get there, I had somebody helping me that spoke Germany. So she helped me through the whole time, the whole month of October. So a week after I got settled in Sheffield, I get an email from the airport, and I'm thinking, okay, did they find my passport? They find my passport, but they didn't tell me where. They just told me it was turned in. So I figured it had to be on a plane because I wouldn't have lost my passport nowhere else. Last thing I put it was in my bag, and my bag must have been open, and it must have slipped out. So, that was horrifying because I never want to wish out my worst enemy. I mean, I went through hell, even though it was my fault, but never wished out my worst enemy. So I get an email 2 weeks later when I'm in Sheffield saying that we found your lost item. And that was probably the happiest moment I had in my life. Like one of them, it was emails. I remember reporting lost. And I'm like, because obviously when you lose something, you have reported lost. So I reported lost, and I'm like, because it was all in German. I'm like, so my teammate, I said, can you read this for me? Are they saying they found it, or are they saying that it might be mine? She said, oh, no, they found it. So they asked me if I wanted the passport to be shipped to my original house, or to England. I said, no, ship it to my house because I have the emergency passport with me. I don't even want to touch my old passport. I don't even want to look at it because I'm scared I might lose it again. So I said, ship it to my home address. I'll be home in April or May. That's at the time back in September. They ship it back home. I had to pay some money for it, whatever. It's safe now at home while I have an emergency passport that will last me at least until I get home. That was a good thing. So I'll have an emergency passport. 2 weeks after that, I get another email from a bus company. Oh, we found your lost item. And I'm like, oh, this must be my phone because I didn't lose anything else. It was my phone. So I'm like, oh my goodness, they found my phone. I never thought my phone was gonna be recovered because I was told by my teammate that's from Germany that in Frankfurt, they're known to, when they find something like that, they're gonna take it. They're not gonna turn it in. So by the grace of God, all those crying I did, all the stress, God answered my prayers. Like, I know I had insurance on the phone, but that's not the point. I needed my phone. I'm in a whole nother country playing basketball now. So they found both of my passport and my phone. They asked me if I wanted to ship my phone again to England or my house. I said, well, actually, I'm sorry, go back to that. That was my passport. They couldn't ship my phone because it was electronic. So I was like, how am I going to get my phone now? So my phone stayed there from October all the way up until November. So it was like a month. They said the policy for somebody to pick up the lost item in Germany is 3 months. So I had time to get it. But the problem is I'm in London or England, and that's in Germany. How am I going to get there? So each day I'm Googling, like, how am I going to go unless I get a flight or take the train? So every day, the whole month of October, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get from Sheffield, England to Germany, and Germany, England, back in time for practice or any game. So I'm trying to figure out, I'm like, okay, this is where I need some help with some teammates. So like, who's going to help me, come with me or whatever. So I'm trying to figure out, should I take the train, get a flight, or get a train? I don't know. So mind you, I'm happy that they found my phone. There's no damages to it. That's what they told me. And they were like, you got 3 months to come get it. If you don't get it, we're going to have to just discard it. And I'm like, no. So I'm panicking. Finally, my teammate Laura was like, the best way to get there is through train. And I said, but we have practice every day. The team I was on, we had practice every day, twice a day or something like that. And I didn't know what time. I didn't want that to interfere with practice. So I'm like, okay, you got to figure out how you're going to get there back in time to practice. So one day, by the grace of God, we had like a national break. Every team has a national break where they'll play for a week or a weekend. So I found that time and said, okay, wait a minute. I have a week off or a week. So I used that week to fly from take the train from Sherford, England to Germany. But I had to figure out the time. So I went right after I believe it was my second game with this team. Right after my game, I forgot who we played, but I went home, took a shower, and got right on the train that night at like 3 a.m. to Germany. Germany's not far from England. I don't remember that. But it would take at least, I think, about 12 hours, I believe, to get there. But that's because I took multiple trains. So I had to pay some money for trains and some buses to get to Sherford, England. It took, almost a day for me to get there. But I timed out really well. So I get there. First, I went down to Lost and Found in Frankfurt, Germany. And they first told me, we don't have your phone here. I said, look through that pile of phones again, because they were looking for phones that were January, February, March, April, May, June, July, and not anything in September, because they have a list of phones that people don't, come and get with a certain amount of time. They put the month and day of the time they got it. So I'm like, can you go back on the pile of phones all through September? Because I lost my phone in September. I remember it was my passport. And they were like, okay. I said, sir, can you just go check one more time? I came from Sheffield, England. I'm here to get my phone. I called a month ago, or emailed you guys actually about this. So he actually went back and checked the phone, box of phones. He brought it to me and he dumped out the phones. And I'm like, that's mine right there. And I just took it. So if I would have never told him to go back to another phone, like the boxes of phones all through September, I don't think I would have got my phone back. So I was like, just check one more time, sir. Go back in there and please check those phones, because my phone is back there. I got an email saying it's here. So he charged up my phone. My phone's been dead for like almost a month. So it died. I think they said it died. It's been dead since I lost it on that bus. So no notifications. Nobody can contact me. Nobody contact me. So he charged it up. I had to wait for like an hour for it to be fully charged, or at least charged up. Mind you, I didn't leave that place. I was hungry that day, and I'm like, I'm not leaving anymore with nothing. So I waited for a charge, and I made my way. I left right that same day to go back to Sheffield, because I'm like, I had to be back in practice that next morning. So I left right after I got my phone, made it back to England, safe and sound. Nobody knew I left. I didn't tell my teammates or anything, because they were my coaches wanted me to wait till like December. I said, December is the time that they're going to throw away my phone if I don't get it by December. So the journey, I went from Sheffield, England to Germany was good. Germany to Sheffield was fine. Get back, everything's fine. When I got back to Sheffield, England, for practice, everything, seemed good. Now I have my phone. Now I don't have my passport yet, but my phone. And this is where, and this, I'm gonna tell you guys why I left England. The team was great, the league was great, but as a player, and I don't know if it has anything to do with me when I first got there, first impression matters, and I'm gonna go a little deep with this. I feel as though because I lost the passport and my phone, I wasn't treated right by I just wasn't treated right there. I didn't feel valued. I didn't feel like my worth was staying there. I wasn't really playing much. Even though every game I played, I produced, but I didn't feel like I was welcomed or valued because of what happened previously before I got there. And I didn't feel right at all when I went through all that. So I felt like it was best to contact my agent and say, this is what happened to me, my phone, my passport. Because when you play professional basketball, first impression matters. So when you lose a passport and you lose your phone, it's showing teams that first you're irresponsible. And you can't be dependent on. And that's what I felt, the vibe. So I thought that it was time for me to get out of that situation, because what happened off the court translated on the court. And I didn't feel like I was going to be okay there if I stayed. So I finally let time go by. I didn't just leave right away. I stayed there for 2 months. I just contacted my agent and told him I broke down. So I'm like, you know what? I've been holding this in. I don't feel like I'm going to be okay here. Can you just get me out of here? Mentally, I wasn't okay. And I believe it's because of me losing my passport, my phone. And then on top of that, I had to deal with negativity on the court. It was a lot. And it made me feel like, okay, I know I done it. I know I lost my passport. I know I lost my phone, but it doesn't give anybody right to treat me like I'm undervalued. And that's why I wanted to leave that place. So I just broke it down to him on the phone, and I'm like, you know what? Thank you for giving me here a contract here, and I played in a few games. I believe I played in like 3 games with them, and I was like, it's just time for me to go. I don't think I know myself, and I know my worth, and I believe if I stay here any longer, it's only going to be more damage to me. And, I'm a team player. I don't want, to be like it's about me. But being a professional basketball player, you have to look out for yourself, because teams, you can always be replaced by different players. So different players leave teams for any reason, but my reason was really valid because I knew what I was going through, and nobody back at home knew. They knew, but they didn't understand. So it was hard for me to tell my mom or tell my family, because I was so on hush mode and I was shut down, because I'm like, okay, I'll blame myself for losing my passport, my phone, but it doesn't give anybody right to treat me like that. And that's what I felt. So I stayed there from September 3rd or 4th, to I believe November. And I got out of there, they paid for me another flight to go home. And I got home. I'm still like, okay, where am I going to play at next? The whole month of November, I got a little mini job on my home. And yeah, it just wasn't a good fit for me being in England. So I was like, you know what, just get out of here. This is your career. You could choose what you want. Not everybody's going to understand why you left, but that's not nobody's problem. That's not nobody's concern. So you need to do what's best for you at the time. And so I'm at home the whole month of November, talked to my agent at the time and telling him, I don't want to sit out a year. Yes, I left England, but I don't want to sit out a year and ruin I don't want to have a gap year. It's not good to have a gap year in your career. So I'm pushing him like, who else is looking for players? And mind you, playing overseas, teams in Europe stop taking players after February. So I'm already panicking, but I don't want to rush it. I don't want to just go anywhere and go through the same thing with through England. So I'm panicking. I'm don't know what to do, but I have to find a job while I'm at home, because where's my income coming in? My income stopped when I left England. So we talking every day. I'm telling him what's open out there, what's open for what teams are looking for a post player, who's looking for a post player, where can I play next? He has connections more than me, so I'm just being patient. I'm at home. I live with my sister. I was living with my sister at the time, Liana, and it was just a lot going on for me. And I was at home just figuring out where I'm gonna play next, while still staying in the gym, while working, just staying grinding. And he finally tells me, I think like 2 weeks later, a team in Luxembourg, likes you. And I'm like, okay, what is it, top league, second league? What, I'm asking these questions. And I finally went with it. I said, you know what? I'll take that offer, because I didn't know where else I was gonna play. I felt stuck, because I'm like, okay, I don't want to say no to them and then not have nothing in behind. So playing professional is unpredictable, because you don't know if you turn down one offer, that may be the only offer you have. So you can't just turn down any offer and and believe you're gonna get the best offer next. So it's like kind of playing, it's a probability. So you don't know where you're gonna land next. So I took the offer. And I believe I made the best decision to this day. I went to Luxembourg. right when I signed a contract, because I had to leave I had to leave 2 days later because teams are gonna want to move. So I had to pack my bag the same day I signed the contract. So as I'm packing, I'm just like, oh yes, I'm so happy I'm playing again. I thought I was gonna be stuck not playing for a while because I left the team. So I'm at home packing, pack all my stuff up, get to Luxembourg. The moment I get there, everything was just great. I mean, teammates, coaches, GM took care of me. I had a good housing, was a good city. It was just amazing. Like I said, it was an amazing experience. From there on, I started praying to God, like, God, you know why I left Sheffield, England. You know what happened to me. You know what I've done wrong. But please make my crooked path straight. And I just started trusting him. And the moment I trusted him, he just blessed me since then. Every game I gave it my all because I'm like, I know what I've been through. I was angry. I was sad. I was holding on to so much. Like, Shay, yes, you lost your passport, your phone, but you went through that for a reason. You didn't just go through that just because. Like, you don't lose your phone, you don't lose your passport, you don't do those things. So it was almost a sign as if I wasn't supposed to be there to begin with. Like, that's what I'm taking to this day. I'm believing that I wasn't supposed to be in England. That was the way of God telling me, no, you don't need to be there. So, but I'm happy I got out of that because I wouldn't wish I had my worst enemy. And I believe Luxembourg restored my strength because every game I played, I gave it my all. I just went out there and just remember what I was going through in previous years, feeling undervalued, feeling not appreciated, feeling like nobody supports me, feeling like I don't matter to nobody. So I remember just going out there just playing like, you playing 40 minutes a game. You better give every step you get on that court, you need to give it your all. And that's why I told myself, like, Shay, you control your future. Nobody else control your future. Agent or not agent, this is your career. So I guess I got that mindset of remember who you are. And no matter what you've been through, don't let other people dictate your life or their opinion affect you. So Luxembourg just was a blessing. And that's what happened.
That was quite the story.
Yeah.
But you got through it, you have your passport, you have your phone, and I don't know where your future lies in terms of your career, but how did Luxembourg help you kind of regain that sense of self? I guess you've touched on it already, but people lose stuff. I've lost things too. Weird things happen, but you go to Luxembourg and statistically it was your best season out of any team you played for. What do you think that could do moving forward, whether you go to Luxembourg or play somewhere else next season?
It was just like a switch. It was just like I went through in Sheffield before I got there to get the mindset I had in Luxembourg. It was just like I just started all the things I've been through before I got to Luxembourg or before I got to Sheffield, England, up until when I got there. It was just like it was a test. It was a test for me. Like, don't give up, but it was just like you gotta go through something in your career. Because before I was playing Luxembourg or England, I was good. I was happy. I didn't go through anything major up until I signed with England. Up until I left England, so I had to go through something in my career to make me stronger. So, I guess I just started God help me. God help my mind. What are you trying to teach me? What is it I've done wrong? What should I do better? What are you teaching me right now? Because I'm believing to this day it was God teaching me something like, know your worth, like know who you are, know your value, like don't just accept anything. Don't just because a team is successful for 20 years, don't just what's best for you. And that's what I was thinking. That's why I feel like that's what's teaching me this whole time. I guess I just had to switch. I just started praying to God, and He started revealing things to me, removing things from me that's not for me, and that's not like Him. So I believe that that my prayer got stronger, my faith got stronger in Him, and He just did a switch in my life. And I just like when I got to Luxembourg, I'm like, Ball out, Shay. All the things you've been through, all the disrespect, all the things people are saying about you or what they feel about you, how they're treating you, leave it on the court of Luxembourg, but be professional about it. And that's what I always told myself. So I just started praying to God, read my Bible. I have a Bible app on my phone. I read every morning, different scriptures. And I go by that. Like, you've been through a lot, but you're also blessed. You played in 6 countries and been in 10. I mean, that's a blessing. So I guess I just start praying, God has been good to me. All I have to do is just keep trusting him and not worry about what everybody's doing out here. Because people are going to have their opinion. People are going to talk bad. People are going to say things about me and that's not true, and out of jealousy, out of hate, out of just whatever, because the light I have in my life and the anointing I have in my life. So I guess it was just God. But moving forward, I was just like, again, I'm trusting him. Like, I still want to play basketball, but if it's not in his will, I'm okay with that. I still want to play. I still want to make a WNBA. I'm still working for that. But what's the point right now is what did he call me to do? I'm 27 years old, getting older now. What is he calling me to do? And I'm trying to get that, answer. So I guess just keep praying, trusting that he's going to lead me to the right path. And even though I know what I want to do, but is it according to his will? So from moving forward, I'm just praying every day, not being anxious much. I'm worried, but I'm not too worried because I know he's doing his job on the side. And he got me protected, and I believe I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay mentally. I'm going to be okay overall. So just giving everything to God, everything. Fear, worry, anxiousness, anger, feeling like I'm anything, I give all to him because that's the right thing to do, and I needed to keep doing that. So, yeah.
Well, if you need any help in that department, your new buddy Adalia, I know she led her own Bible studies at Illinois. You probably have seen her posts. That's something she is relied upon, and whatever your go-to is, if it's healthy, if it helps you move forward, like, hey, that seems to be your ticket. It seems like, though, you've always been a woman of faith. I know you and I have talked about that for a couple of years now with all the podcasts. How has that helped you? I know you were going through a lot of stuff. You've been talking to me. I know there were a few things you were wanting to mention that you felt were bothering you or that you just wanted to get out there. But how has that helped you navigate all this? And this could go for people who, whether they believe in a higher power or not, it sounds like you found something that can give you a healthy way to express your thoughts, your fears, your feelings, so that whatever happens here, it doesn't get to you and lead you to places you don't want to be.
Well, I'm going to be honest. I'm off times. I go to the gym, but if not, I go to the library. I do get emotional a lot. I cry in my off times because either out of joy or just because of what I've been through, and I feel like I didn't deserve this, I didn't deserve that.
Or being stuck with me all the time.
No.
You probably cry about that too.
No, it's just, I guess what I went through all in Sheffield and my faith growing stronger, and I'm praying. God put on my heart to just speak about, I guess, feeling like I'm not being valued in the way I'm supposed to, like the support system I have. I'm gonna be honest, I think it's people are gonna support who they like versus what's right. And I always tell myself, Shay, you played in all these countries and you have people that support you when you're overseas. But when you come back home, it's just everybody just like, who is she? Oh, okay. And I have to speak on that because I don't feel valued when I come home. I don't feel appreciated like I am when I'm in Luxembourg or when I'm overseas. I feel like people have changed or either forgot or so caught up in their own problems, and it's like, okay, I'm sorry you're going through this, but it's just, I feel like people have forgotten who I am. like what, or not who I am, but like, like I'm trying to get the words out, but forgot about, who I am because they're so caught up in like the social media, the world, all this negativity, all this darkness going on. And that's what it's daunting back on me because it's not fair for me because I want everybody around me, whether you work at McDonald's, whether you work for corporate, whether you're a WA player, whether you're a single person on the street. I look at everybody as being you're valued or something, like you're somebody, But in this world, this day and age, everybody wants to be seen and everybody wants to be known. It's like, no, let's all come together. But it's people don't want to do that, and it just makes you feel like I'm not the type of person where I'm gonna put a label on you, and that's why I'm gonna talk to you, or that's why I'm going to be your friend. No, again, if you're a good person with a good heart, true intentions, then you have a chance to be my friend. You have a chance in my life. But
so why are you still talking to me?
No.
I'm sorry.
No.
You know me, LaShayla, and everyone else knows this. If I have a chance to tee myself up, I go for it. I'm just trying to be one to the punch. But if you don't mind, I'm obviously I don't want to diminish what you're going through because I don't want to make it seem like you're melodramatic or overreacting. But I'm just wondering what are some examples, because what you've said, I know you and I spoke ahead of time. I dealt with that in terms of people ghosting me or people just being flakier than I thought. So one of my best friends was going to go to an event that I was being featured in, did not, haven't heard from her since. And I'm not angry about that per se. I'm still thinking to this day, I guess I'm not over it because it hasn't been resolved yet, but it's like, are you okay? Like, this isn't like you.
Yeah.
And then others who I developed friendships with decided to go AWOL, and the line I used that one of our buddies, Nia, said when she was playing at Hopkins, I think it was Gino Oriema who said it, her coaches said it, and I've used it, control what you can control. So it's one of those, I'd love to have you in my corner, and if not, I got to move forward. I just find it frustrating that people don't seem to have the courage to tell me what's going on, and they feel like, oh, maybe if I just disappear, he'll forget about it. And it's like, well, not me. I have a steel trap mind, for better or worse. But in your case, where do you feel like people maybe have flaked out? It sounds like that's what you're. It sounds like that's what you're experiencing. It's like people who maybe were with you early on, or people who say they support you, and then when push comes to shove, they maybe aren't as consistent as you would expect them to be. And I'm a literal person. I don't know if it's me or if it's them, and I don't try to. I'm going to lose my mind if I try to figure that out. But if you convey to me that, hey, you're my friend, I'm going to believe that, because I think it was Abraham Lincoln who said it's better to trust and be disappointed than mistrust and be miserable.
Right.
So I've said, if nothing else, I'm going to do everything I possibly can to put the ball in your court, so that if something does go wrong, I can at least look back and not lose sleep over me making a mistake. And again, this isn't me being cocky. This is just me saying, you can only do so much. You can't control what other people do or how they think, how they react. So that's what I go through, and I'm just curious what happens with you, where you feel like maybe the people who have said they're behind you maybe don't necessarily reflect that ideal based on their actions.
So that's you touched on a lot right there.
I know there's a long-winded question, but I'm trying to help people who might be going through this too, to help understand, like, this isn't us being angry or just being prima donnas. Maybe we are. Who cares? I don't know, but what's going on?
I've always felt like there was something missing, but it didn't hit me until, I guess I'm 27 years old now, not because I'm playing basketball, but like, I guess when I started growing closer to God. And I asked him to remove, reveal. And what I mean by that, like, remove anything or anybody that is not right for me or it's not like you. And revealed things that I need to know. And I guess my discernment from him is really strong. Like I can walk into a room and be like, oh, I don't belong there, I'm going out. So it's different, like, it's different scenarios. I guess like I said before, I feel like if I didn't play basketball and I wasn't known for that, it would be way worse. Like, I mean, yes, this is my career. I'm playing. I'm making a name for myself. But I don't know how to explain it. I guess people just, again, when I'm overseas, I get a lot of messages. I'm loved. How you doing? What you doing? When I'm at home, my phone does not barely ring, and it does with family, it's with friends, and that's what it is. And that's what I mean. It's not just one specific example. It's just all the time. Like I come home, I'm like, okay, I want to start doing basketball camps. I want to start doing that, but it's like people don't want to do anything no more, and it's like everybody just shut out. It's mute. It's nothing, and I'm like, okay, I want to do more when I'm at home, more clinics, more this, and get involved, but people. It's like they're shying away, and I'm like, I don't know what that is. I don't know. It's like some cloud that's holding over that, and that's why I feel like, God, are you revealing to me like this is not supposed to happen, or this is you're revealing to me what people's true intentions are and what their heart is. Like when I say further in my career, I feel like I should be way further if I had just the right. I'm just being honest, the right support, the right people, and I don't feel that when I come home. Well, I feel that I feel like a celebrity while I'm at overseas. Oh, we love her, we know her name, but when I come home, it's not like that. It's no love, and I don't feel that with anybody pretty much. I'm just really honest here, and it finally hit me, I guess, a month ago, and I guess the more I pray, the more I read the Bible, more things are like, Shay, it's better to be alone than be, and I don't want to be with a crowd, that's not what I'm saying here, but just the love and support I have when I'm away versus when I'm here is not there. I mean, and it's like, people don't know what I do on my off time. I'm working 10 times harder than I ever done, because I feel like I'm not doing it just for myself, I want to do it for people too. I'm not a selfish person. So I don't know where the disconnect happened, because again, when I was a rookie, when I played the first 2 years, it was that love there. And I don't know what happened throughout the times I started playing more. When I started playing in Sweden, and it just something disconnected in that time, and I see the change.
And this is, just so I'm clear on this, this is from the people you grew up with. This isn't like the crowds or like overseas. Are you like,
well, they don't know me over there, but like that.
Right.
But they just know I play basketball. But like, yeah, people I grew up with, it's just like
okay, yeah.
change.
So the people here,
yeah.
And I just wanted to be clear on that, because I have a thought. Well, I guess all I have are thoughts, because I'm not you. Where I do wonder, and I've said this because of how we value sports. Sometimes it manifests in unexpected ways. I've said. I'm going to, hold on.
Take your time.
No, it's this automated thing, and come on, like.
You gotta probably move, huh?
There we go. I think we got the lights back on. No, it's okay.
Yeah.
That's why I do editing and all that, but I'm
gonna add one more point, and I've just been feeling.
I had one more. I guess I have my point, then. Maybe you can add to it, because maybe you can relate to this, where because you're in a sport, when you're playing, you're doing your thing, and I'm not saying everyone is like this. I don't know who all your friends are. I know you and I have a few mutual contacts, and the ones we share would never see you that way. But I wonder how much of it are people trying to chase that celebrity status, and when you're playing, you're out there putting up numbers, you're getting honors.
Because people don't know how it is
yes,
overseas. When you're overseas, it's not just getting paid to play. You don't just, if you score this many amount of points, you get paid. No, it's a grind, and I don't talk about, because again, play professional is a business. You can't talk about everything that goes on when you're overseas. I haven't even told people even when I had a good season, great season, bad season, there's still things that's going on within overseas that people don't know. When I come back home and I go through things, it's not towards people. People don't understand that it's what I've been through. And I talk about these things, but they're like, well, I always get this response. You getting paid to play though, but it's more to that. It's mental. You're in a different country. There's people that are doing things to people that nobody knows. Like, you know, I mean, I haven't been through nothing really dramatic except for losing the passport, the phone, and that. But I mean, like, when you go to a different country, there's things players go through that we don't speak about, and it's hard to talk about it because, as a basketball player, as play professional, you're always told, shut your mouth. Don't talk about, because if you say what's really going on, it's gonna be called blasting. It's gonna be called you're blasting the team or you're blasting the country, and then that can ruin your reputation of going, because in order to go higher to play basketball, it's not just about your talent, it's your character and what you do off the court, on the court. So all the agents, teams, people might not know this, but they all talk. The basketball world is so small. I could say one thing about a player and it gets to somebody else. I could say one thing about an agent and it goes to somebody else. So that's why it's a hush mode. You can't say a lot. And it's like, you can't say too much because you can get blackballed by an agent, by a team. One negative thing could say about you from an agent to a team or team to an agent, and they don't never want to mess with you again. They never want to sign you. They never want to. So in my case, I don't have that on me. But I don't know what's going on behind my back, and that's why I asked God to reveal. In this season, I want him to reveal and remove as he's been doing. He's been doing that, and I notice that he's doing that now, and I'm lonely than ever. I'm like, okay, this is probably what it needs to be like. I need to maybe be alone from people and not be around people that I don't need. That's not for me, or things that's not for me. So I'm grateful for him that he's revealing and removing things that's not in his will, or that's not gonna be good for me. So I think in my case, that's what's going on. The harder I pray, the more faith grows, the lonelier I'm getting on the road, and that's why I'm losing things. I'm losing people left and right. I'm losing people because they think that they don't want me as being a friend, they want me to be a cop. So I want to be a cop after I get done playing basketball. So I'm losing friends left and right because they don't like cops. So that's the other thing I'm going through too. So it's a lot that's being revealed to me, and it's making more sense of why I went through this and why I'm going through this and why people are doing this. And, you know, I'm not caught up on so much of I want to be liked. It's the respect. You know, you can't say you respect me in one country, and then when I come home, it's because, you know, that's what I feel. It's wishy-washy, and, you know, I don't, and, you know, but God has really been doing his big one on me. He's been really revealing things to me, and I'm grateful. And ever since I started picking up my Bible more and praying more, I'm feeling a lot better. Here and there, I feel like, okay, God, what do you teach me now? What's going on? But he has really done his job, and he's like, Shay, remove this. Shay, remove that. I'm telling you what's going on here. Stay away from this. So each day he's been doing some part in my life that's making me grow closer to him. And I'm going to just be forever grateful, because now I feel like I know why I went through this. I know why I'm not further in my career. I know why I'm stuck. I know why this is being blocked. And it's like he's revealing things to me, and, you know.
And I'm certainly no psychologist. Most of my viewers know that.
Yeah.
But the more I listen to your experiences, was when you reached out to me for this edition, and I have a feeling you'll have enough to put an audiobook together.
Yeah.
Depending on how
when
many
I'm done with
scenes
my
you play
career,
for.
whenever that will be, I think I'm gonna write probably a book. You know, maybe, because it's not just for me. I want to tell all the players that's trying to play pro, it's not always peaches and creams. Mm-hmm. You're gonna go through things, whether it's small or big, like agents, teams. You're gonna go through stuff you never thought you'll go through, no matter if you're a great player, greatest player in Europe or not. You're gonna go through something, small or big. It's not gonna be the best situation in the world. It's never gonna be the perfect situation. In my case, I never expected perfect situation, but the things I went through, it taught me a lesson, you know. And if I had the mindset I had now than I did back then, I think I wouldn't even be talking about it, you know. But I do want to tell a lot of athletes out there that's trying to play pro, like, do your research. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't sign with your first agent. Do not sign with your first agent. Always have somebody behind you that's making sure you're good, whether it's a sports lawyer, whether it's a one-on-one consultant. Like, yeah, you have to do your research and trust God. You know, research it matters too, but again, you could do the best research in the world and do it like very, 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 very good, but then also still go through what you went through. I always say, pray about it first. Pray about everything, because God. He's above all. He knows he's the answer to everything. And before you sign a contract, even if you think about playing professional, you got to pray about this, because it's a journey. It's unpredictable. You can go through a country and go through anything. You can go through. It's scary, but it's exciting at the same time. So you always want to put God in that, because if I never picked up my Bible, I think I probably would have lost myself. Like, I probably would have, you know, not been where I'm at, and not good mentally. And but he, again, put God in everything you do. If you have any weird feeling by any agent, any team, always ask questions. And that's just my advice for anybody that want to play, you know, overseas WNBA. And it's also it's a business. You're going to be compared to players that played in top leagues, and you know, it's different things you're gonna go through, good, bad, or the ugly. In my situation, I hope nobody ever lose your passport or phone overseas like I did. Yeah.
Well, the point I was going to make before you discussed your observations, I obviously don't have your experience, but early in my life, in high school and college, I had to learn the hard way about remove and reveal. It's not something I asked for specifically, because I figure it will come to me in due time.
Yeah.
People will reveal themselves, because sometimes when you meet somebody, you get the elevator pitch, and then you learn more about them after the fact when their shields are down. That's a Star Trek term, but I think you know what I'm saying. You know me, I'm a pop culture geek, and it's a wonder why I'm still in one piece after all these years. No, I'm kidding. But I learned about that. Again, had to learn the hard way, because I try to be an engaging, compassionate person. And unfortunately, that has led some people, especially early in my high school, college, not so much now, where they saw an opportunity to take advantage of my redeeming qualities. And I'm past that, but it still stings, because I'm always wondering, are people being straight with me? Is there something about me that they aren't telling me? And I don't feel this way with you, so don't worry.
No, I know.
It's just one of those things. It's one of those side effects that linger, and you don't realize it until years later, like, oh yeah, what you went through. Yeah. So I think the point I'm trying to say, going through that, where I had people who unfortunately engaged in passive-aggressive tendencies, helped me find better, healthier friendships down the road, because I saw what the red flags looked like. Yeah. And when you asked God to remove and reveal, I feel like it fits kind of the axiom I've said with others who have gone through changes in life. Maybe they were more rambunctious or rebellious when they were younger, and they've mellowed out, or they've wisened up. And I have a few friends who had rough starts to their lives, where they did some things they wish they could run back, but they did great things after the fact. They wised up, they got better. And that just illustrates the point. You're never too old to stop learning or growing. Physically, you and I think we're done growing, but mentally, I mean, I'm sure you wouldn't mind getting a couple extra inches. I mean, you're 6 feet, but...
I mean, I don't know, because you know what? When I go to the doctor...
You could get more rebounds,
The doctor said without shoes I'm 5'11", and then with shoes I'm 6 feet, but I don't know anymore. I don't know.
I've always been 5'11". it's funny because I don't know if you met her, Catrice Williams. She went to North, graduated the same year I did, actually. But she knows all of the North folks, Tisa and Brianna, and
Probably.
but she gets people who are still disappointed when they measure her at, like, someone measured her physical and she's 6'1", like 6 feet, and they're like, oh, because I'm saying I'm 6'2". Like, I never felt insecure about that. Like, I'm 5'11", I'm okay with it. But now I'm going off on a tangent. But it feels like when you're saying people aren't supporting you, you asked, okay, remove and reveal. And I feel like you're getting...
I'm getting my answers now. It feels
I'm not
better.
saying be careful what you ask for, but I'm like, this is what that growth looks like. And it's hard because...
I feel a lot better.
It's hard because, I don't know, maybe you had some long-lasting friendships among that group. I don't know. I'm not there. But things that you thought you knew about people are now...
I'm learning the hard way now. It was really
You're going
showing.
Through what I did at a younger age.
It's now showing like, okay, those people are no longer in your life anyway. They never had the power. They never had enough power to ruin you anyway. But it's in my case, I think, I'm doing well in life, don't get me wrong. But I'm happy that God has finally, because I'm 27. I'm not going to my 30s. I'm not bringing people in my 30s that decided to leave me in my 20s or decided to say, oh, I feel like this, whatever. Okay, bye. Go ahead, because I ain't do nothing to nobody, but I just wake up every day and do what I need to do, and people are going to really throw back on what they feel. When they know they're wrong, they will throw back on you. And I think that's through basketball, that's through personal life, that's just, I used to be very angry and feel like, I don't deserve this. I'm not a bad person. I'm not out here causing problems. I'm not out here, telling people, I'm not doing that. If I ever was mean to you, it had to be a reason. If I'll ever not talk to you, it was for a reason, So I don't just do that to people because I'm that evil person or that mean person. So I just feel like looking back at my life, I didn't deserve this. This person should have been out of my life a long time ago. Remove, reveal. I'm just happy that God has been doing that, and now it's lonely now, and now I see, okay, I see why, those people was never real to you. They were never, and that goes for family. I have to say it, but, and I had to speak on that a little bit about, I see a lot of players, like that's drafted or that's playing the EuroLeague, the Euro Cup teams. They didn't just get there because they're talent. They had their family behind them. They had support, and me, I'm like, okay, I'm not trying to compare myself to nobody, but there's no way I should be in the same predicament I'm in right now, not further because people feel some type of way. All people got to do is support me and I'm going to give back. But I don't know how to give back because I don't know if that's a hater or if that's somebody trying to really support and they just don't have. It ain't just about the money either. It's just about simply just how you doing or checking in on me regularly. I don't feel like I have that, and that's what makes me hurt because I'm like, truth be told, Mike, if I was to say I'm signing in Spain tomorrow, I'm gonna get a lot of phone calls. I'm gonna get a lot of Facebook likes, hearts. I mean,
I would be in that group too because I enjoy your successes. So.
Right, but I'm saying, that's what I feel is going on now. And when I pray that prayer, now God's showing me those people are showing you who they are, and just I'm not saying I care what people think. But it does bother me that, okay, how can I move forward if I don't have the right support, the right, people have changed. People go through things and people hear things that are not true or whatever case may be and go based off that. And that's why I feel that's kind of what's going on as well. But again, God sees all, God knows all. And that's the only person that I need to be focusing on. And because, again, we all going to bow to him one day. We're all going to. So whatever people are doing behind my back or saying or
He's
whatever.
He's gonna regret meeting me when I get
and
there.
I just know what again, not just reading the Bible, but I just know like we all gonna be judged in a way. So whatever people are doing, whatever people are trying to say or doing behind, I can't see. That's what I pray about. Remove, reveal, because I can't control that. But yeah. But I'm very disappointed in how the support system, and I'm still feeling like I'm in the same predicament I was 2 years ago. You know, it hasn't coming back. And I tell people this is why I don't like coming to Minnesota, because I feel like I don't feel like there's here nothing for me that's valuing me. Like, you know, you can't support me and say I'm a celebrity, and then I come home and you don't. I've been home for almost 2 months now. People, you know, come on. So I know why I'm in a predicament. I know what's kind of going on a little bit. It's making more sense now, and that's why I'm more at peace. You know, and I'm like, okay, the Bible helps. The Bible's answered everything. God's answered everything, and He's really showing me that's not for you. That's not for you. He's not for you. Remove them. I'm removing them myself. So that's what I feel is going on, and but yeah.
And I have a couple of observations I wanted to add as I'm understanding this, and I wasn't sure what to expect when we tape this conversation, because I think we all go through this, but there's another friend of mine who just finished up her college basketball career, and she spoke of the same problems that you're facing, where the people within her inner circle maybe weren't as genuine in their support as she expected. And I think it hits up people when they realize, whenever it happened, when it happened for me, I look back on it and go, how come I didn't see this sooner? Or like, why was I so naive? And sometimes I thought maybe it was me. I don't know. You know about my background, right? Mm-hmm. And I thought if I didn't have this, I would have picked up on this sooner. And it's like, you know what?
Yeah. We don't live with regrets,
I can't read your mind. You can't read mine.
No.
And I wish it's like, I would have saved myself a lot of heartache, but it did help me learn to appreciate the healthier friendships I have now. So you're not the only person who has gone through this situation. I'll ask this because they say the reason why I have a verse in my bios is not because I'm super preachy. I've never been that way, but like anything else, I feel like, well, you don't always have to be a Bible thumper or whatever religion to pick up on the ideals, but what are some verses, some quotes that have helped you through this situation? Because, you know, this is one of those awkward transitions, it sounds like, and where you're finding out.
I don't feel comfortable, but I know what I need to do. And
are there certain lines that have helped you just navigate through this and try to make sense of who you are and what your place is?
The Lord is my shepherd, Psalms 91:23, and then other one, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Philippians. Yes. 4:13.
That's a tough one to say.
Y'all know what I mean, but yeah, those are the two. And no weapon formed against you shall prosper, and that's in Isaiah. Those are the three scriptures I go by every day, because again, it's true. I mean, He put all of us on the earth for a reason, for a purpose. I'm still kind of finding that purpose, and that's probably why I'm going through this hard stuff. But it's making more sense to me. It is, and some days I feel like I can't believe I went through that. I can't believe I'm being treated like this. Why? I mean, I don't do nothing to nobody, you know. But I can't think like that because God's like, don't think like that. You know, I put you there for a reason. And you know, people always say like, but you're blessed. You went through playing overseas. Yeah, but I could be much further if I felt like something's blocking or someone is blocking for me to progress. And that's why I can start putting on my Bible, because I'm getting older now and I don't want to feel like going in my 30s like doing what I feel like with my late 20s. I'm not going through that. If I got to cut off the whole world for my peace, then I'm gonna do that, because
you should have cut me off long ago then.
Because God is God. Again, people understand how He don't play about His anointed one. Like He doesn't play, and I just don't know why people feel like they're gonna get away with what they've done, and it's like, or what they say. Not just what they do, is what your words, how you think about somebody. That all your thoughts, all your words, He hears and He sees. So I'm not gonna go out and get revenge on anybody. You know, that's not my heart. But I am very disappointed and hurt by how it just is going. Like I should be way further, but people either jealousy or what they got caught up in their life, don't care, and selfishness is all that. And, but I only control what I can control. And, God teach me. He's teaching me. He's teaching me. And he's talking to me, Yeah.
And I have been privy to a lot of the stories. There are things that you and I have talked about when we're not recording.
Yeah.
And when you brought up maybe the disappointment, I go back to something I remember telling you years ago when things got sour in another situation, that success is the best form of revenge.
Yeah.
For me,
Just keep going.
And for the people that decided to ditch me for whatever reason, it's like, okay, well,
they were never true. They were never.
I'm
supposed
like,
to be.
you know what? I'll keep pushing forward, and the next time I get a milestone, I don't know when, but if I move up, if I get that dream job at ESPN, like, you know what? They're the ones missing out, and there's nothing I can do about that. Which is the hardest part, because we want, you and I feel like we have one thing in common. We're trying to do good. We're trying to be authentic, be genuine.
Forgive too. Forgive is a huge one too.
And
forgive people. Just forgive them, because if you don't forgive them, God's not gonna forgive you for what you've done. And I had to learn the hard way.
Right, and it's just gonna stick with you. It'll be that cloud you were talking about, and that's where I've learned. Okay, I still hate that I'm ghosted, and there's always a part of me that might feel like, okay, I would love to get an answer, but I've done everything I can. It's up to them. And you just have to,
unforgiveness in your heart it's not going to move you forward.
Yeah, right. And so I've told friends, basketball, even though I am nowhere near as athletic as you, don't worry, I won't challenge you to a one-on-one unless I go through some drills. Like, okay, I would put in the work, but basketball has taught me a lot about patience.
It's what I do. It's not who I am, but it's just.
Exactly. And I kind of wonder again. I feel like that might be the theme, underlying theme, as to why people, shower you with praise when you sign with a new team and do all these big things, and then away from it.
It means nothing to me when I come home. That's what I feel. It means nothing to me when I come home. You can't value me because of because I'm
stats.
doing well. No, right. And it just, I'm bigger than that. I mean, do people even know after I get done playing I want to be a cop? I mean, I don't think anybody really knows that. I mean, even though I've lost people in between, like, oh, I don't want to, you 12, you the op. And I'm like, that's not true. But okay, not every cop is bad, but I'm not going to stop being a cop because people believe that's not the right career for me. That's not your career. That's mine,
Yeah, I can't tell you what to do. I would know what
I know, but in this world, that's what's wrong with the world. That's what people are thinking, and they're just like, no. But yeah.
Well, I mentioned this. I've said this to you. I don't know if my words get through or not, and again, that's out of my hands. I can tell people, but I can't make people see things the way I do, and vice versa. It takes time, but I have always told my friends in basketball that as long as you remember you're more than your stat line and your record, you'll do fine. So even if you never played another game again, I'd still say, hey, how's it going? I still reached out because you and I have been through a lot. We've had some moments in our friendship, some that I find confusing at times, but it goes back to the patience thing, where if I lashed out when I felt slighted for the first time, maybe you and I aren't talking now. And I do appreciate that you and I have made this work, and I've said, you've taught me a lot. I've seen you make a lot of strides, and I feel like you're in that next phase of it now. Who knows what it will look like when you get through that remove, reveal phase. But I think what you're telling me when you said, hey, let's do this because I have all these things in my head, I wasn't sure what to make of it, but I feel like the more we've talked about it, now that you've had a chance to spill out the whole story, the more I get the sense that you're just trying to figure out where this new place is for you, and how strange and how unsettling it can be, because you're learning some things that maybe you weren't anticipating. And it goes back to when you put that out there, whether you're asking a higher power or somebody, it's tough because you have to, it forces you in a way to make some changes, not wholesale ones, but now the circle you thought you had might look a little different. And you know what? Down the road, it might lead to some bigger things. I've said basketball. You've said if it wasn't for basketball in the Bible, I don't know what you.
I don't know where I would be.
I'm the same way. I've said basketball. It hasn't always been perfect. There have been times where, again, I've had friends and then things change, but I'm grateful for the sport because without it, I'd be in a tougher spot. I've said basketball gave me a family. I did not have an easy time making friends in high school. And in college, it got a little better. But as I got older, as I did more games, I hear all the stories. I don't know about you personally, but I'll never forget some of the interactions you and I had when you were playing at Kennedy. But years later, when I did the History Center project, and I heard from all the players who said, I remember watching your games when Taylor Hill was playing. A couple of players actually had said that to me. I don't know what your experience was with me, but it's like, you know what? If it wasn't for basketball, I wouldn't have met all these people and I wouldn't have found my place.
Right.
I'm sorry if I'm going on this speech.
No,
like I don't want to make this about me, but I feel
taught me a lot.
I feel like you and I, in our own way, we've come to the same conclusions about ourselves and about what friendship looks like.
Yeah.
You were going to say something though?
Yeah, I was just going to say basketball.
Didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's okay. On a positive note, basketball has really connections. though. I met people I never thought was going to meet, but basketball also taught me a lot of life lessons too. I mean, not just being a good person, that just comes within, but character-wise, knowing how you are, self-worth, all that. I mean, basketball has just kept my mind right. It just that while I'm playing, I realized things I was going through and realized, okay, this is the bad thing that's going on, but look at the good things that's going on. So it's 50-50. So basketball, it did save my life. It really did, because I think if I had this, I'm little anger and stuff like that, without basketball and without
you were taking up karate. I remember you and I were here 2 years ago.
If I would have still did karate, I think I would have. Yeah, I mean,
you had other avenues. Just basketball was the one you fell in love with, which is fine.
Yeah. So
I fell in love with it too for a different reason, but I totally.
Yeah. I'm just happy that my mind is like, okay, it makes sense why I went through this, why I'm not here, why am I? It makes sense. Like, God is he's awesome. He's awesome, and I haven't lost my mind yet, except when I lost the passport and the phone. But I haven't lost my mind as far as just dealing with just why, the negativity of people, and it dawns on you, and then people don't realize, why are you mad today? Why are you going through this? Because of when people have what they go through when they get angry or when they go through stuff, you being around them 25/8, that affects you too, and they don't realize that. And then when I'm quiet, don't say nothing, I'm mad because you mad, and I don't know why you mad, I'm mad because you mad. So like it's the energy in the darkness that when you live with somebody, when you be with somebody, it affects you,
I fixed the light, but it's like that.
You happy, I'm happy. You mad, I'm mad. You pissed, I'm pissed. Or you want to fight, I want to fight. When you around people for so much.
I don't want to fight you, so I'm sorry to disappoint you. I will. Yeah. But I know exactly what you meant, because there were times where you were in your feelings a little bit. Are you okay? No, seriously.
I wanted to crash out a lot.
You wanted to crash? No, and then you wanted to crash on me once. You were just going through some stuff. But that's what
I would never fought you, Mike, though.
No, but you were going through the emotions a bit, and we all do. So this isn't me again. I'm not trying to make
I see the problem.
But when you said, when you're angry, I'm angry. It's like, no, that's how I felt when you sent me that text where you were a little.
Oh, I was out of it. I was like, I need to start talking about how I feel. Don't hold it in. Talk about it. Because
so you were coming at me, and again, I'm not trying to relitigate or make you seem petty. That's not why we're here. We're laughing about this, but it was like I remember feeling confused. Like, she's angry. Why is she angry at me?
No,
huh?
I just
remember every time, and whether it's with you or others, I've just said, give them a moment, let them sleep on it. They're probably got a little out of sorts. Because I've been there too, and that's why I say it is like, just give them some time to breathe, and let them work their way through it. If they do, they'll be ready. So, again, I'm not trying to make fun of you or suggest you're someone you're not. It's just you and I, like, I know exactly what you're saying because I've been through it, but I was going to say, I'm not sure I'd be here if it wasn't for basketball, and there was a time when I didn't have it where it got rough, but it's like, I don't know where I'd be without this sport. Maybe I'd find another one, but I guess you and I have covered a lot of psychological and mental health more so, and I had a feeling we'd go into that because that's what you wanted to talk about. What have you learned about yourself through this experience, and how important is your mental well-being? Because you've talked about some of the things about being an overseas athlete. Well, whether you go overseas or whether you stay pro here, now that we have the WNBA, Nafisa Collier has Unlimited, we have Athletes Unlimited, there are more options. You might get an opportunity to play in a league here if maybe you get the hookup with Nafisa or someone. But what have you learned about yourself? Because I feel like you've maybe you haven't had mental health episodes of the classic variety, but you're understanding a lot more about yourself, and I feel where you've really evolved since I first got to know you, LaShayla, is that emotional intelligence. It maybe has taken some steps to get there, but that's something I want to commend you for, that you never let the slights in the past get to you in the future. So with everything you've gone through up to this point as a player, as an athlete, just how important is it to be at one with yourself from a mental point of view?
I did a lot of reflecting. When I'm at my mom's house, I live with my mom and my stepdad. When I'm living with them, I write stuff. I just start journaling how I feel. Okay, so today was a good day. Today was a bad day. Today was an okay day. So I write down in my journal each day. I haven't been doing it for like a week now, but I just write down things that's been bothering me. Like I start journaling. I guess that helps a lot too. Not just think about it all the time. Don't just think about it. Write it out. Rather you're crying about it while you're writing about it, just write about it. I just you got to talk about it. You can't just be in your shell, because if you be in your shell, then one day you're going to explode, and you're definitely not going to go back overseas. If you know what I mean. You know what I mean by that.
Go overseas, or you might do something you would regret.
So,
it's like it doesn't lead to good outcomes.
Because now when I'm feeling like, it's a term out there that people say is playing in my face. And I feel like when I feel like that, I feel like, okay, now I really got to act on. I really got to start saying something, because in a day, I'm still growing in a day. Nobody's going to do things for me. I got to start speaking how I feel, even if it makes people mad or not. This makes me feel sad. This makes me feel mad. So I got to talk about it. So I guess I had to learn, stop, don't hold on to things. You got to talk about it to somebody. I mean, don't tell everybody your business, but, you got to express it some way.
I guess we kind of are, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, don't go too deep into it, and don't tell everybody, too details. But, there's a lot of things I don't talk about that I want to talk about, but I'm like, that's too personal, that's too much. But,
and I've got a circle of,
Yeah, I guess I start journaling a lot. But what I really started doing was open up that Bible and just start praying to God, because again, all this feelings I'm feeling, towards people, or people feeling towards me, that's all within. I have to release it. Just let it go. If people do not want to support, if people don't want to treat you well, just let them go. It don't matter, family, friends, associates. I don't care if you knew the person for 20, 30 years. If they are draining your energy, if they are not helping you grow and move forward, you got to release it. You got to let them go, because it's your life. And I had realized, I used to listen to people. Nobody had control of my life but me. But growing up, I was, playing basketball in middle school, elementary school, high school, college, overseas. I was listening to people, but I realized, the same people I listened to in the beginning are not here right now. Old coaches or old whoever. They're not there right now. So, for them to tell you these things and not there for you right now, what was the point? So I guess I just start telling myself, shit, you got to talk about this, because you're getting older now. You don't want to be in your mid-30s or your mid-40s still talking about what happened in your 20s. So it's time to talk about it right now, but learn from what you've been through in your 20s, late 20s, and don't go through that when you're in 30s. If you got to cut off the world or things you love to do for your peace, you're going to have to do that now. I love basketball, but if that's toxic, I have to let that go. But it's not. I just think it's the world around me is darkness, and it's a lot of hatred. It's a lot of jealousy out there. And that's kind of what's blocking, but yeah, I think journaling, praying to God, and, waking up every day, stay out of people's face and just do what you got to do that day and keep going. Just keep going. And that's what's been keeping me from being not so, mad, because I do hold on to stuff still, but again, I'm letting God work inside me. He's gonna, because I know what went wrong and I see what went wrong, and people might not know, but like I see everything. I feel things like, okay.
It's only an issue if you don't learn from it.
Right. So, I might not talk about it, but I see what happened. I see the problem. I see, I can't fix all the problems. I can't fix all, what's been going on around me. But I see it. I just walk away now. I'm like, I'm not gonna argue. I'm not gonna try to prove myself to nobody. I'm playing the game that I love still, So, moving forward, I'm gonna keep praying, still trusting God. My faith is gonna be growing real stronger. So I just give everything to God, whether it's the tiniest thing to the biggest thing, because again, He has the final say in anybody's life. He has, whether we go to heaven or hell. So, I have to give everything to Him. If I have a problem with any family members, everything to Him. I forgot what scripture it says in the Bible where cast all your worries and cares onto Him, and that's why I'm learning in this season. Cast all your worries and cares to Him, and He will give you rest, something like that. So, yeah. So I'm learning by that, and I feel a lot better than I did last summer, year before. So I'm like, all I have to do is just trust Him. He's going to lead me to the right path. Rather, no matter what man do on the earth, He's going to lead me to the right path. And He's been doing it. He's been revealing things to me and taking things away from me. I'm like, dang, I used to have that. Okay, He took that away from me. And I know it's Him working because I feel better at peace. So I just got to work on stop looking back like, God, why'd you do that? Or why did, and that's what I'm telling myself, like, Shay, you're getting better. Do not allow the enemy. The devil lost a long time ago. He lost a long time ago. Don't allow him to remind you of his past when he don't even got a future. So, yeah, that's what I tell myself, just keep going. Because when we all die on this earth, I have to say it, we're not going to take the materialist things with us, car, the house, the basketball. We're not going to take that stuff with us. It's going to be us, our soul, our bodies, and our souls. So that's what I'm learning, Can't be angry no more. I can't be, feeling worry, fear. Give everything to Him. And that's what I'm learning every day. Stay away from things that are not moving me forward or people that's not moving me forward.